but now he looks a bit more mortal. There are a lot of participations in big tournaments that he had where he just dropped out a little bit earlier or just didn't get the results in the group stage. So he's still one of the main contenders for every tournament that he enters, but he looks a bit more mortal. He looks like a bit more beatable, like he was more figured out, but still, of course, one of the strongest players, if not the strongest European player that we have in yeah, in the world. Well, right now we have on the bottom left of the map the Protoss player, which is also very, very strong, has played in Code A, was able to get through the up and downs, is now back in Poland. It's, of course, a mouzMaNa, player for mousesports, and starting to the top right is his opponent. Maybe the favorite player in this group, I can certainly see him get out as being the first in the group. It is Stephano, still wearing the Millennium tag on this account, but of course he joined Evil Geniuses. It's EGStephanoRC. And yeah, I would definitely say, for me personally today, I feel that it's Stephano and MVP. mouzMaNa is strong, but I think I'm not quite sure. I'm actually not quite sure between the three of them. They are really strong players, and all of them can advance. Even Mini Razor can still make it out of the group. But I feel today we will see a Zerg and a Terran advance.
I would be surprised to see any other results, but we have seen some pretty surprising group results in the IronSquid so far. So, for example, Gosu User taking first place in the group was something I think nobody saw coming.
Yeah, that was really impressive. That was an performance that I did not see coming at all. But he played well, and he deserved to get out of the group. It was great games by him, also a little bit sneaky. That proxy hatch that he played was amazing. And yeah, it was so cheeky, nobody really expected it. And it was so funny to see that then who tried that? Wasn't it Live who used the proxy hatch? Which didn't really work because his opponent was going for a double for a very aggressive opening with a double warp gates. That was Live, right?
I think it was Life. Yeah, I want to say Life in that group.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was Live. But it was just so funny to see it. And I asked him after the game, I asked if he saw IronSquid, and he started laughing. Was like, "Yep, that's it." So yeah, that game definitely caused a few waves in Korea as well. But right now, guys, we have the opening for mouzMaNa, what you would expect going for the Forge play here with the Nexus. On the other hand, the expansion now being built for Stephano. And this group is just such a treat. This is the perfect cast to end 2012 for us.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome for sure. You know, I was so excited to just cast man. I was able to leave the very Stemkowski Christmas party.
Yep, Artosis Christmas party that we had earlier.
By the way, you guys know and love Artosis for his StarCraft commentary, but I'd say he and his wife throw the best parties.
Exactly. In Korea, may it be Halloween or Christmas, every single time there's an invitation coming in, and it's always good fun.
Yeah.
It's basically
fun.
The Korean caster parties.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. We had all the casters there. I don't think anyone was missing.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Everyone who's cast in StarCraft in Korea right now was at that party. A very dangerous situation, actually, if you consider that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if that's like a morbid thought, but I think about things like that sometimes. I'm like, I was actually thinking about that at the party. I'm like, there's actually so many important esports people here. It would be a shame if something happened to them. You know, it was funny because we had to leave early. Of course, you left a little bit earlier than me, but I left about an hour after you. We got the last subway train home, and I had an adventure because I looked at the last subway time. And I was like, yeah, I should make it. Should be fine. And when I went to transfer on the subway, I was going, and as I was walking out of the train, I was on the edge, like on the far end of the train, so I had to walk a little bit further than everyone else. And I see everyone is running, and there's a Korean voice over the mic, and I'm like, what is it? And it says the last train is leaving at it was like 11:45, and I'm like, I look at my phone, it's 11:44. I'm like, I have to walk all the way up the stairs and all the way down this long hallway, all the way down 2 flights of stairs. I just started running, man. I was flying down there. I was running with everybody else. It was crazy. I was like, there's like 40 other Koreans. We're all running through the hallway. People are pushing each other and shoving. I'm like, scared people are gonna die, but it was all okay. More okay than Stephano is gonna be, man, if mouzMaNa hits him with that immortal push, though.
Yeah. You know, I was actually in the same situation, and I did not make it. I mean, not today, but the last time I had to walk home, or I decided to not get a cab. But yeah, I know that feeling when you suddenly see everyone starting to run, and you're like, uh-oh.
I was like, do I really have to run right now? And I was running, and I passed a few people who weren't running, and they just looked like, look at all these people running, and I'm like, No, you're just not gonna get on the train. Like, you can laugh at us all you want.
Look at this overload at the bottom.
Oh, he sees it.
He sees the robotics. We don't have the immortal push with the with the observer coming out now first. It looked like he's going for the immortal push. At least we saw the robot before the upgrade. I feel like this is more him going to be into warp prison maybe, and not just yet.
Just
second
double
observer.
Interesting. Looks like he's just gonna get some good scouting information while he goes for a third base.
Yeah, third base on this map is something that Protoss players try to do a little bit more often, and there, of course, is now also our Twilight Council. So third base it is. It's not the build that I would have expected for Mana. I really thought that he would try to hit a two-base timing against Stephano, especially because he was successful with it in the past. But Mana is also a player who loves to go into the late game, and with players like Parting using the late game more and more often against Zerg, I feel he's a bit of an inspiration to other Protoss players.
Yeah.
Lair tech nearly completed, now done. Macro hatch in the main base. So everything's set up here for Stephano. Because the Roach is out on the map, speed is coming up now. Mana with the first immortal. And the push out to claim the third base.
He's taken a, I don't want to call this a risky third, but it's a very fast third. And it's definitely one that, with the 11 Roaches coming across the map, he's got 11 Roaches rallied with about, looks like 6 Roaches coming across the map already. This is not going to be an easy third base to hold. He's going to need really good force fields.
Yeah, he has the first immortal now out, and with immortal number 2 already on the way, I think he will be able to hold as long as he sets up his defense correctly.
It's more about the link follow-up with the Roaches together, and so far we don't see a massive link follow-up, only 6 links behind this.
Stephano has the macro hatch though, and he can definitely go for a very aggressive style here. I feel he didn't see the third yet. Yeah, actually he did. He saw the third, so he knows what's going on, and he works at the rocks, waiting for the rest of his army. Drones up behind it though, is not playing it on low economy, but goes straight into roughly 70 harvesters. Infestation pit also coming up, so he wants to pressure, but he doesn't want to fully commit to this.
Look at his timings, man. He hits with speed and +1 right now perfectly. While at home he has infestation pit, like you said, and went up to 7 drones. It's like everything he's doing is perfectly timed. Now he just runs in here. He's going to pressure at the forge. He wants to take that forge out if he can, or at the very least force some sentries to use their energy and get a little bit too close where he can pick them off. All the while he's getting that investor tech up. This is actually just how you do Roach pressure.
He sees that there are 3 immortals out, and he's like, well, you have so many sentries, I don't want you to get those Roaches for free. So he backs off, which is a good choice at this point.
Neither of them lost anything in that engagement.
Yeah. Just a little bit of energy used by Mana, and Stephano decides to move back. Tries to have a shot at the third, but that's not going to be successful.
Too many cannons.
Yeah, 3 of them, the immortals. We have 3. The 4th is now leaving the station, so that's a bit too much. 4th base being built for Stephano in the middle of the map. Right now he knows that Mana will try to save and secure his 3rd base, so he has a bit of an opening to take his own 4th.
But by the way, Mana has not lost a single unit in this game. He even pulled his Zealot off the watchtower right there, and still is going to trade really nicely. There's some great preemptive force fields.
Yeah, but he wasn't able to catch those Roaches, so there were a few gaps. He used a lot more force fields here than he wanted to. Will not play the biggest role with all the sentries that he has, but these are definitely not parting force fields.
Nope. Not quite, but that's pretty tough to that's pretty tough to pull off. I mean, he is
parting is close to perfection these days with his force field.
He's kind of the best Pross in the world, I would say. Mana, he's one of the best Prosses, but he's no parting.
And well, we have him now with a Warp Prism.
+3 as well.
+3. No Robo Bay just yet. It looks like is he going to attack with this? I can't really see him do it because it's like
not with the infestors. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, there's something missing in the composition.
It's the Colossi. That's what's missing. He's got a ton of damage output though. He could try to avoid the potential spine crawlers at the 4th if there are any. Or at this point, there's not yet. But now 7, 8 are started, so he's probably going to try to avoid those if he does push out. He's got the Warp Prism.
I mean, we have seen push-outs like this with very, very heavy gateway armies with a lot of stalkers. I feel he doesn't have enough just yet. So facing this army is going to be tough for him, especially with the infestors now. That will, of course, prevent him from blinking and also shut down the sentries. But
Yeah,
there's no Robo Bay. He's really going for this composition. We have him going into Templar Archives. That's, of course, also really important if he can use Archons here to lead the charge. That would help him a lot. First War Prism is out on the map. A second one also being built. And Stefano is just waiting. Stefano's going for his hive tech. If Stefano's going for lair, he's patient. He's waiting. He's just trying to make sure that there's nothing hitting him. And he has overlords, creep tumors, all in position. Spine crawlers starting to build. He's preparing for the late game. He wants to head into this very, very annoying Zerg style.
yeah. At this point, I really feel like I feel like that Mana is going to use these warp prisms. He's got them together though, which is a little bit weird. I think he was going to use them to try to warp into the main base and kill some tech, and then if Stefano pulls back, he would attack the fourth while it's exposed. But it looks like he's just using these only for reinforcement right now. He has two of them for that same purpose. That's I don't want to say it's redundant, but it's definitely
Well, he
not
can
necessary.
warp in with one and micro with the other. I feel
That's
that's
true.
the idea. But he also has a probe that throws down a pylon, and now one of the warp prisms.
Yeah,
Is
see, this is awesome. This is how it needs to be done. He's going to go and try to draw the forces back. If he doesn't respond in the main, then he's going to lose a lot of tech. But
the
then if he does
Archons
respond,
need to go to the front.
yeah,
though.
they need to be at the front. They do not need to be at the back like this. All the sentries are going to die in seconds, is what you already mentioned.
Yep, here we go. The Spinecrawler is in range, and all those fungals, they are good. The infested Terrans doing their damage in the main base. We have a bit of a warp in, but Zerglings are already on their way. Roaches too, and this main army of Mana is in trouble. He already lost most of those Immortals. Only 2 are left, and a few Stalkers. The last Archon bites it, and now in the main base, the Roaches are cleaning house.
Yeah, he even warps some more Zealots. He wants to make sure this does a little bit more damage, but it's just not. I don't know about this warp in. You know, he's going to be able to do okay until the Infestors and the rest of the Roaches get up there.
Yeah, the idea was to split the forces of Stefano, but Stefano just sent a few units in his main base, and these massive amounts of infestors just really did a number on Mana, and he's trying to make it work, but right now he knows that he already lost a lot of his momentum. With those Immortals gone, he can't really do a lot. Transitioning into a Robo base is now going to be so difficult, and he tries to skip it and goes straight into Stargate. He wants to have the mothership. He already has the Archons available.
Exactly. That's what he's. Oh, look at this!
Nice
catch some Infestors. That's. I mean, that's not going to change the game drastically, but that's a small step. But the thing is, he loses all of his Stalkers as a result. Stefano, even though he's lost a lot of supply, I feel like just has the better position in tech, and since he has that fourth base, he should be okay here. These Zealot Warp-ins are just not really cost efficient for Mana. He's dumping a lot of resources when he needs to be taking a fourth base, I feel.
Yeah, Stefano was just ready for this. He didn't gamble, he wasn't too greedy, he went to 200 supply to protect his hive tech, and also had so many infestors that got into a good position at the beginning. The force fields for Mana were decent, trapping a lot of them and also taking them down, but by the time that the infestors were killed, they were already low on energy, and he had just so many behind the force field that he still had fungals and infested Terrans available.
Mana is going into air. He's getting +1 weapons and plasma shields rather than going into further armor because he knows that the plasma shields are going to be useful for his air. What type of air we're going to see, I don't really know. I mean, he doesn't have enough money.
He doesn't also have a fleet beacon. Looks a bit. There comes the fleet beacon.
Yeah, but +1 not too useful for the mothership. It's not really a damage dealer.
Mana is way behind in the game.
Yeah.
The second Spire is now coming up for Stefano. He has the Greater Spire. Okay, it wasn't killed. That was for a second. I was a little bit worried here.
He has a lot of larvae. He's just being patient. He's not decided yet exactly how he wants to max out the rest of his army.
When with the first Broodlords, he has Infestors. How many Infestors does he have? He has five Broodlords. Goes for the upgrades, +3 will soon be done. He's far ahead of Mana in this tech. And Mana only has 1 armor upgrade. He has the 3 attack upgrades, but only 1 armor.
He went into plasma shields. He's getting 2 additional Stargates. He wants to, it looks like, go into carriers. There's the first carrier actually started now, but this can be a cool surprise transition. But Stefano has already made so many corruptors that he should be fine. Plus, with the investors he has, I think if he holds the initial carriers, he should be able to just overwhelm Mana.
Stefano's bank is just really scary with 2,300 minerals, and also, well, he's lacking the gas bit, but that's what the 5th base is for, and he's just mining from all these extractors. I'm just double checking if he missed drones on some. No, he's just spending this gas really well. That's all there's to it. His income is just going to be so much better. Mana trying to take the fourth. He needs one if he goes into such a gas heavy composition. But Stephano is ahead in supply. He has the better economy. He has a decent creep spread. His army composition is getting very, very scary. And as soon as we have more corruptors, this is even going to be I don't know, Mana, if he sees what's coming, you know, if Stephano sees what's going on, he can sack all those links, 50 of them, then he has supply freed up, and then he can just get the corruptors, exactly.
But the carriers are going to be a moment for Stephano where he's like, uh-oh, wait a minute. He has to decide whether he wants to keep pushing and try to take out that Nexus. It looks like he may be able to do it with Lings alone. Nah, not with these Orbs.
Yeah, then not enough Zerglings at this point.
Yeah, but, well, yeah, he still doesn't quite have enough now. The Archon's there, too.
Yeah. I need moves back right away.
Oop, bit of a mistake on his pathing there, but he doesn't see the carriers just yet. Yeah, it's becoming more and more scary as time goes on, as he's hiding them really well.
More corruptors are now being built, and this broodlord composition is getting scarier by the minute.
We've seen 14. So many players die though because they made too many broodlords and not prepared for a tech like Void Rays or carriers. I remember Sen, was it Sen versus Hero at NASL, or it was Sen versus a Frost player? A long time ago. I remember this game where Sen had all the advantages in the game, and he made something like 25 broodlords, and he lost the game because he didn't have enough anti-air.
Yeah, the only problem that I have, and I would completely agree with you, the thing is that Stephano, as soon as he maxed out, will build up a gas bank. He already has the mineral bank.
Yeah, he's starting to build it now.
He should be able to go straight into Corruptors if he sees what's coming. So it's just a trade that he might lose the next fight, but it's just the trade that's so important.
He's also got a decent investor count, which can help buy time and also deal with the interceptors if you can get the fungals on those.
He still didn't see about those added. Well, he actually saw the fleet beacon. He saw one Stargate. Did he saw the other? Oh, he sees the weaker Stargate. So he scouted them by now. This is why he doesn't morph those additional corruptors into a broodlords. He wants to have some anti-air here, and
we may even see him start to make spore crawlers with his mineral bank. The spore crawlers actually become quite helpful.
Look at this base. He actually takes the base here. The spore crawlers at the front, trying to protect it. And Mana is in a very, very dire situation here. He fell behind after his attack did not do damage and didn't kill the fourth base. And Stephano is just pushing all the right buttons.
Yep. Stephano at this position, this forward position, can actually start to siege up the main base with his broodlords and then fall back to defend his sixth base now.
Mana is moving in.
He's got the feedbacks ready, but the spines are going to stop him.
And here are the carriers.
That's an insane damage output, even with only +1. But look at all the interceptors getting fungled.
Yep, and here come the corruptors. Yep. It's corruptor time. He uses corruption, another fungal. The storm is good, but there are just not enough storms available to take down the corruptors before they deal with the
especially
carriers.
Considering the fungal was good on the interceptors and the storm killed a ton of those interceptors.
Actually, he's able to take all of them down, but he only has 2 carriers left. That's his biggest problem. Mana is already down to 133 supply, and now all those
remaxing with corruptors.
All those corruptors that we talked about, the remax starts immediately. Those broodlords are exposed for a little bit. The carrier has to be careful that he's not taken down by.
I almost lost that one carrier to the Infestaran. That would have been like the most valuable Infestaran anyone's ever seen. He's gonna lose a few broodlords, but now the corruptors are gonna finish this off.
Yeah, the last carrier is trying to escape. 2 of his buddies are waiting back home. But Stephano is now at 186 supply. He's on 6 bases against Mana's 4. And Mana is moving out, and he still has an army. I mean, his army supply is currently at 90 against 130. So 40 supply advantage for Stephano. A good blink beneath the broodlords, though. Taking them out, using the storm here. Well done by Mana. Stephano just has too much, I feel.
Yeah.
He's losing a lot of the broodlords, but there's still so many in the back that can do damage. And the corruptors, of course, now dealing with the carriers. GG.